What is going on, collectors? What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Comic Card Checklist. And for this episode, we're going to be doing probably going to be a long video. It's going to be pretty much about Marvel PMGs. And if you guys don't know what PMGs stand for, it's Precious Metal Gems. And I'm going to go over like some history and pretty much every Marvel precious metal gem that you could get as far as the comic card. So anyway, if you guys don't know, PMGs or the precious metal gems have been selling a lot on eBay lately. Pretty much I took a quick search and it's Marvel PMG right there, and then I just filtered it to have listed that are sold already and that are completed, and pretty much took the range of price to over $750, and pretty much this is the results for it. So they've been selling um a lot lately. I've seen like this one yesterday, or March 16th, apparently sold for 27,000. A couple of course bigger names, probably Spider-Man's would cost a lot. Of course, Iron Man, one of the more famous characters, 27,000. Green Goblin, less than 5,000. Some graded, some not graded, but they're all fetching for like this one, Flair Retro, 25,000. And I've seen uh I think one of them go for as high as 50,000, but these are pretty much recent sales, maybe within the last couple of days or even like the week the most. So, but yeah, I've seen them go up for a lot higher. So, for this episode, I'm just gonna be going over like what PMGs are and pretty much all the PMGs you could find that are out there, and of course, there's a lot of them. And right now they're so big that it'll probably take like over $1 million just to get like a whole set of them. Even if you could find them as a set, I've seen them sold before, pretty much like as a set before, and I think it was like 3 grand or so, but that was like a couple of years ago. I don't think nowadays like you don't see these kinds of set selling. Um, you usually just see them sold for like one card or two. So but anyway, let's get started. So if you guys didn't know, or if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And also, if you guys didn't know, I'm gonna go over the first Marvel medals, which came out in 1995 by Flair. And so pretty much all the cards that you're gonna see here, I'm just gonna go over it. I'll create an episode for Marvel Metal sometime later, but here are just pretty much the whole base set of the Marvel Metal, and I think it's like 130. Let's see, 138 cards, and of course there's a Silver Flasher set, which I will show after this one. And the chase cards for these are 24 cards, one in Metal Blaster and one in Gold Blaster. So pretty much PMGs were derived off of these base set. And of course, Upper Deck and Fleer are sports cards, sport trading card companies. As much as I want to say that they're not, and they're, they're Marvel or, comic cards companies, they are a bigger sports cards company. But anyway, we're just gonna deny that fact that they are a sports cards company, and let's just say these were the first. But there are also metal sports cards, and that actually started with basketball and then football and baseball and hockey, and those came out around 96, 97. And the precious metal gems, the first one, were actually introduced around 1998. So if you guys would notice, pretty much the background of each precious metal card is just like a strong color, either like green, red, blue. So yeah, those were introduced in the 1998. And after this set, I'll explain to you guys which card sets they appeared on, and after that I'll show you guys like I guess the precious metal gems without actually showing you guys the precious metal gems. So but anyway, if you take note also that the format is you have your character name, and then you have, you know, the metal, Marvel metal in the middle, and then you have their character, and then some sort of background. And then in the back you have like a power grid and the number, and pretty much that styling for this base card. And almost all the other sets are the same as far as styling. I'll let you guys know like the difference on the various ones. But then there's the alternate M versions of the Marvel metal, which looks like this. So it's the Marvel metal, instead of throughout the whole page like this, it's just on the right corner, and then the name and alternate M. So those are pretty much our only two basic styles. And also the back is just a little bit different. It doesn't have a power grid. So just keep in mind these two styles, because they're the only two styles that they kept. And we'll go to the Silver Flasher set. And for this set, I mean, I guess you could almost call it a precious metal gem, but it's not. It's just pretty much a silver background for all the cards, and then instead of the back I showed you guys, it's either fighting, it's stats. It's either just energy, strength, agility. One of the stats in the, so strength, intelligence, speed, fighting ability, stamina, agility, and energy blast. And yeah, so the 138, same, I don't know about the checklist, maybe 137, I'll verify it in a second, are the same except for the silver background, for pretty much, and called it Silver Flasher. And also another difference is that it says Flasher in the back of the name. So, and let's take a look at the Silver Flasher for the alternate M. And it looks like this. And it doesn't look like there is, am I missing a card? 134. Oh, I got scared, you guys. I thought I was missing a card. It's like, what? I have an incomplete set. There. That's better. So I'll show you guys the chase cards for this. And pretty much this is where all the metal cards originated from, and where all the designs for the PMGs were taken. And pretty much we have these 24 card set. The first one is a Metal Blaster, and the Metal Blaster and the Gold Blaster are the same exact art, as you guys will see in a second. And take note of the back, because it has the name, height, weight, likes, dislikes. These are used on some of the backs of the cards, and I will show you guys later. But this is your Metal Blaster. up to 18. Oh, sorry guys, I thought it was 24, but it's only 18 out of 18. So 18 metal blasters and 18 gold. So if you guys will take a look at the backgrounds, everything is just in gold. So same exact art, just gold in the back and gold instead of metal in the back. But also they changed like how the back looks. So. But yeah, this is where all the PMGs started from. And of course, I said I was gonna cover all of the PMGs in Marvel Comics, but there are also PMGs in movies as well. As far as I know, there's some in Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Doctor Strange. But I won't go over those because I've never actually. I don't own any of those cards. I only own like the comic book versions of Marvel cards. So, and yeah, I won't cover any of the basketball, football, baseball, pretty much any sports PMGs as well. But just know that there are those comic movie, and sports PMGs. But besides that, we're gonna cover every single PMGs that came out for Marvel. And the first one I'll go over is the 2000 Flair Retro. Sorry, 2013 Flair Retro. And as you guys can see, actually I'll show you guys PMGs that I have before I get started on these, because it's kind of like a big thing to show. So I have here this is from I can't remember if it's X-Men. This is Spider-Man. So 2017 Flair Ultra Spider-Man. And they are thicker. They are the size of, I can't even remember if they're the size of Flair Ultra Spider-Man, but they might be a little bit thicker. I don't know, it might just be the casing that makes him look big, but I'll check shortly. They might be a little bit thicker, but we'll verify later. So anyway, this card right here, we'll just assume that each one of them are this thick, but I'm not completely sure because I've never had a Flair Ultra Marvel Retro PMG. Because pretty much the PMG will be this card right here. And it'll have it in different variants. For the 2013 Retro Metal, there's a red with a limit of 100, blue with 50, and green with 10. So it'll be like discards, but since I've never had it, I'm not sure how thick they are, but I would imagine they'll be the same size as these cards, but I'm not completely sure because I've never seen one. And there's a Marvel Vibranium 2015, and they have parallels of the base cards. But if you guys have seen one of my other videos, the bar card is a lot thicker than the 4 other parallels. So it might be the same case for these PMGs here. They might have made them thicker. So let me know if you guys have like PMG and pretty much know the thickness for them, because I think it might be this thick. But anyway, before I get started with all the PMGs that you could acquire through different sets, I'll show you guys what the PMGs look like. So here I have it for the 2017 Flair Ultra Spider-Man, and it's Marvel Metal number 46, which is Kitty Pryde. So I actually purchased this about a year ago, before all the PMGs, maybe longer than a year ago, before all the PMGs became like super expensive nowadays, where they were actually selling for quite a lot cheaper than today, definitely, because I think for the sake of this YouTube channel, I purchased these, and it probably didn't cost me more than $80 for all of these. So of course, this being the most expensive. So I'm just gonna go over this set, and then I'll show you all the Marvel medals, since all of them will be the same exact cards, and I'll tell you like all the precious metal gem parallels to them, and pretty much that's the best way I could do to show you guys all of the precious metal gems without actually showing you guys any precious metal gems, with the exception of these three. So but yeah, so I just want you guys to know, like, or have an idea of how many precious metal gems there are, because there's actually so many of them, even though they are quite rare. Of course, I'll go over this one first. So 2017 Spider-Man Flair Ultra, you have the bronze, which comes in 109 serial to 199, which is this card, and as you guys will see, all of them are serial to 199 for the bronze. And then the red is serial to 99 with also the same color of red. And then the blue is serial to 49, which you'll see is serial in blue as well. So I don't have the green, which are serial to 10, and purple, which are serial to 5. And then there's gold, which there's only one of them. So definitely I do not own any gold or purples, because they're that rare. They're 5 and serial 1 and 5. So there's only like with those two, there's only 6 of them. But yeah, Spider-Man Flair Ultra has one of the most PMGs with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types, which is bronze, red, blue, green, purple, and gold. And here I have the bronze precious metal gem, red, and blue. And this one is the rainbow. And this is the one that you trade in e-packs, where if you trade 10 of the base, you'll get one of these. So, but anyway, I'll leave it up here so you guys could imagine the back. Pretty much the art, like say Mr. Fantastic would be that like Kitty over here, and then that'll be Mr. Fantastic, and then pretty much all of the colors on top would be what's changing, and that's pretty much that pretty much coincides with every precious metal gem in the card set. So here we have the 2013 Flair Retro medals, which comes in red, serial to 100, blue serial to 50, green serial to 10. So for these metal, there's only 3 kinds, and there are 42 of these cards. So and as I mentioned to you guys earlier, this takes the 1995 Marvel medal as far as front and back. Maybe if I could push it up a little more, or maybe just zoom this out. There you go. And we'll just go through it a little bit quickly. So yeah, but I'm not sure if the PMGs are priced like, I'm pretty sure like cards that are like major characters cost a lot more, but since I don't think you're gonna find a whole set of just PMGs anymore, it's gonna be like really, really tough to complete this as far as a PMG set for this. But anyway, that was the 42 cards for our 2013 Flair Marvel Retro, and I'll show you guys the 2015. So I mentioned earlier that to keep in mind the alternate X or alternate M card, but they change it again here because the alternate M is like, you know, on the opposite side instead of here, which I put away. So, but as you guys can see, they took the. Oh wait, this is the metal blaster. So never mind. This is just a metal blaster. But um, about this set, there are 42 of them as well, and the same versions. Red serial to 100, blue serial to 50, green serial to 10, and also they added a gold, which are serial to 1. So the gold set would be like exceptionally rare because, you know, just one of each. But let's go through this quickly. I actually haven't seen some of the PMGs for sale for these yet because I don't know if sellers don't have it or some people keep theirs or whatnot. But yeah, it's, I think even if you have like $1,000,000, it will be hard to actually purchase every single one of these PMG versions of these cards. So like I think even this Spider-Man here, let's just see like how much a Spider-Man PMG would cost, because I think even just the base card is around 200 now. Marvel Metal 2015 Retro Spider-Man. Just curious to see because I actually have an extra of this card and 75. Oops. Filter. Let's see if anything has sold lately. Okay, this card sold for 100. You know, just for the base card, 155. 400. I have an extra one of these, so I might be sell. I just put it on auction for a bit. 316, 433, 421. So yeah, I mean, prices are like all over the place, but it looks like it's between 100 and 400 depending on yeah, these Spider-Mans have been like climbing in value, but with eBay nowadays, like you never really get like a set price. It's all over the place, but and that's just a base card, so you guys could imagine an actual PMG is selling for a lot more. But I think this is it for our 2015 Marvel Retro. And the next set I'll show you guys will be the 2017 Flair Ultra Spider-Man, which is actually for this set. And I have it in a box. I don't have the large cards in a binder, so give me a second. Let me just take out these stacks cards, and I hope this whole thing doesn't like fall because I would be upset. And just bear with me, guys. Let's move the stacks out of the way. It's not needed. All right. So here are our Spider-Man Marvel medals, and there are 50 of them. Here's our stack for X-Men, and there are 49 of them. And I'll tell you guys a story about the Spider-Man MM0. I think it's the black costume Spider-Man. of course, I wanted to collect it before, but I think 2 years, maybe 3 years ago, it was worth around $50, and I was like, man, that's like too expensive, and I don't really want to spend money on that card, and maybe it'll be cheaper like next time it comes around or something. So I completely forgot about it, and the last time I looked, they were selling for like at least 500. So I won't be getting that card anytime soon, and it looks like every auction I look at, it's just getting higher in prices. So anyway, we have here the 2017 Flair Ultra Spider-Man, which comes in, like I said before, bronze, serial to 199, red, serial to 99, blue, serial to 49, green, serial to 10, a purple, serial to 5, and the gold, which is 1 out of 1. And then the X-Men, the 2018 Flair Ultra, are the same exact thing: bronze, red, blue, green, purple, and gold. So, and 49 for the X-Men, and 50 total for the Spider-Man. So yeah, that's a lot of parallels and a lot of PMGs for the Spider-Man and the X-Men sets. Um and let's get started. After this, there's only one set where you can find PMGs, and if you guys are familiar with card sets, I think you could already guess which is the last set that I will do that has the PMGs. But anyway, let's get started. So MM1, this Spider-Man card is actually like selling pretty high price now too. So we got Shocker, Madam Web, Agent Venom, Rhino. Rhino looked like he's been quarantining. Like he doesn't look cut at all. He hasn't been working out as much. Black Cat, Doctor Octopus, Iron Man, Spider-Man's mentor according to the MCU, Spider-Woman, Luke Cage. He needs a stronger t-shirt. He's the only person that has like messed up t-shirts all the time. Apparently, like no other character has messed up costumes. Like Black Widow, perfect, pristine. Even Deadpool, look at that, perfect costume. Iron Fist, Randy. We got Carnage, nice. Sandman, Dagger, Cloak, Morlun. I bet this guy is probably the cheapest you could find as far as a rainbow set, maybe. Like who is this guy? Hulk. Hulk's been pricey too. Green Goblin, I just saw one for like $5,000. I think it was a green PMG. Moon Knight, Spider-Gwen, Venom, and we are almost halfway. Lizard, Mary Jane, different version. She looks dorkier here. Spider-Girl, White Tiger, Morbius, Punisher, Anti-Venom, Nick Fury Jr., Craven, Wolverine, Silver Sable, Spider-Man 2099. First time I've seen Spider-Man 2099 in a different costume that doesn't look like his the 2099 costume that everyone sees. Jack-o'-lantern, Scarlet Spider, Kingpin, Mysterio, Electro. Electro looks like a kid here, or either that or crazy. We got Nova, Vulture, Silk, Scorpion. And we are almost done with this set. Captain America. And finally we have Kitty Pryde. Yay. Let me put this one here, so you guys could see the 5. Because pretty much this is the only rainbow I have. Only PMGs I have. I wish I would have purchased a lot more, but they were a little bit expensive back then, and I was like, man, I wish I had that much money. But here we are. I mean, I'm just happy with the pretty with the base sets, because I can't really afford too much. I could only afford the what I call the tier 1 chase sets, because anything higher is like tier 2 or tier 3, you know, so it gets exponentially more expensive. So, and last one, 50. Oh, apparently I have another precious metal gem Sandman that I did not know about. Okay, I guess I got him for free too, probably like $5 at the time. So let's look at our 2018, and we could see a little bit of difference, and they definitely changed up the design. Instead of Marvel, they replaced a logo with X. So they didn't do that for this. They kept the Marvel metal the same, but I guess that works. So we got Cyclops, Iceman, Archangel, a different looking one. And also the back looks different from the other ones that we've seen. It's totally new back. Haven't seen a beast that looks like this. Phoenix, Magneto, Blob. And I don't think I've seen this much as well. I've seen the Flair retro stuff for a lot more. I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen some of the Spider-Man sell for pretty good price too, but I'm not sure so much for the X-Men Juggernaut. But I'm pretty sure almost every PMG went up in price. Banshee, Storm, Magic, Colossus. I like to imagine as all of these cards as my metal PMG or pretty much the silver PMG. It's like a flasher. Sabretooth, Mystique, North Star, Emma Frost. And I think when I purchased this, the rate for these were, I think, around $50 when they initially came out in 2017 and 18. So, and that's when I started collecting. So I got them for pretty much, I don't know how much they're valued right now for the base set, but we could take a look at that later. Dazzler, Phoenix, Rogue, Cannonball, Puck. I thought Puck just bounced around using his body. I didn't know he uses weapons too sometimes. And I don't know. It looks like there's like a magical thing going on there. Like he has magic or something. Warlock. And I like, not that I like, but they always seem to draw like something that's like, you know, like you can't see like Professor X like powers, or they always draw it in some weird color like that, but you know, in real life, like you never see any of this. Forge, look like Forge gained some weight too, man. Everyone's been quarantining. Adversary, Legion. I definitely gained some weight. Spiral, Cable, Mr. Sinister. Wonder if this counts as an error card. It looks like a Mr. Sinister. Jubilee. Jubilee looks like a vampire here. Outshines Jubilee's vicious and spunky personality is her main ability to defeat her enemies by creating alchemy. Bishop. Wow, that bishop costume though. Domino. Dr. Nemesis. Marrow. Blink. M. Stufford Cuckoos. Phantom X. The guy with the supposedly 3 brains. X-23. Armor. Blindfold. Hope. Deathlock Prime, as opposed to regular Deathlock. Warbird. Tempest. Red Onslaught. Is that Red Skull? And and here we have the achievement card, Old Man Logan, but I'm not sure if this has a precious metal gem attached to it. I don't think so though, since it's a redeemable card. Pretty much you get this if you turn in like all 49 of all the other metal sets here. So pretty much all of these to get this one card. So that would be our next to last. If I could just clear my table. Give me a second, you guys. As I don't want to damage these, I'm gonna put it back in my box for safekeeping. Yeah, I've been keeping all my metal cards for the Spider-Man and the X-Men in the same box, because I have the others sets for them, like foil or silver foil and the regular base set. And I even have the rainbow foil for the X-Men, but they take a lot of space, so can't forget about these. If you guys didn't know, you also get these tier cards from 000 from turning in the base sets. So I don't know how much they're worth now either, but we're not here to look at prices. We're here just to look at the base cards that are for the PMGs. At least for this episode. So let me put everything back. 43. And I still haven't done an episode for these cards for as far as like the regular X-Men, Flair Ultra X-Men and Spider-Man. So stay tuned for that. Because I have almost like for X-Men, I have almost every subset except for, of course, like the comic strips or the any sketches or anything that's like you know, that there's only like less than 100 of. So but as far as like EX Century stacks, what else is in that set? Master of Magnetism, the metal, there's so many. So but anyway, we'll move on to our last set that, if you guys didn't know, that had PMGs in it, and I will show it to you guys right now. So it is if you guys didn't know, the 2021 X-Men, what is it? X-Men Metal. And the way this one works is there's only 2 different ones. And but pretty much for the whole 200 set. And if you guys are not familiar with the X-Men Metal set for the 2021, there's a base set of 200. 1 to 100 are the low series, and 101 to 200 are the high series. And each one of those cards has a red version of PMG that is serial 290 and a green version that's serial 210. So let's get started. And of course, I looked up at some of the prices for them. Since the metal are new, they are pretty pricey. Even the I've been trying to collect at least one of a card for the buyback, and each metal buyback card is like at least $100. So, but yeah, these are the newest X-Men card, and they do have a foil to them, and they don't feel as like the way they stick out in the 1995 Marvel metal. And yeah, I think I'm still partially biased to the 1995 Marvel metal. And also that this part is not foil, and the names they put on the side to the right. So, but I think other than that, it looks a little bit cleaner. But besides those changes, I mean they are still pretty good looking cards. So we'll go through the whole set. Got like Aurora, Banshee, Beast, Bedlam, Bishop, Blindfold, Bling. They probably have new characters that I haven't heard of. Blink, Boom Boom, Brood. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Bro. Is that Brew? Brew? Is that the young version of a Brood without a D? Cable, Cannonball, Cecilia Reyes. Not sure where she's from. Chamber, Colossus, Copycat, Cyclops, Cypher, Danger, Dazzler, Deadpool. Deadpool almost looked painted for some reason. Domino, Elixir. iBoy, definitely have not heard of iBoy. I've seen Phantom X. Firestar, looks like she's in street clothing. Forge, Frenzy. Gambit, looks like dressed in tux. Gateway, Havoc. Hope Summers, Husk, Iceman. Iceman wearing a costume instead of just being ice. Jean Grey looks like her old school costume. Jubilee, Karma, Kid Omega, Kitty Pryde, Legion, Lilandra. I've seen some TV shows on Legion too, and I don't know, that series is pretty crazy. M, Magic, also Magic and Runaways. They portray her a little bit different, but Multiple Man, Namor. Namor got some scar going on there. I'm not sure. North Star, Polaris, Professor X, Proteus. It looks like Professor X could walk on this version. Psylocke, Rachel Summers, Random. Richter, Rogue, Sage, Shatterstar, Stafford Cuckoo, Storm, Sunfire, and then there's Sunspire, Sunspot, okay. Thunderbird, Ultimate Wolverine, Warlock, Warpath, Wolfsbane, Wolverine, X-23, Zorn, Dakin. I think Dakin is supposed to be Wolverine's son or something? I don't remember. He has something to do with Wolverine. Dark Phoenix does not look like Jean Grey Dark Phoenix though. Emma Frost, Gladiator, Quicksilver. Quicksilver looked like he's in the Russian military or something. Scarlet Witch. This actually makes her look like a gypsy. And maybe like a Batman emblem. What is that? Arcade, Blob, and wearing a tuxedo as well. They came dressed up for these 2021 series. That Bird, Exodus, Juggernaut. Lady Deathstrike with that haircut. Yeah. Magneto. Master Mold. Mr. Sinister. Mystique. Mystique looks pretty badass. Nimrod. Omega Red. Onslaught. And we are in number 90, so we're almost done with the low series. Pyro, Sabretooth, Sebastian Shaw, Sentinels, Shadow King, Silver Samurai, Strike, Toad, Vanisher. I do not know who Vanisher is. He seems like he vanished. Wendigo, Angel, Armor, Aurora. And I think we're at the, yeah. So it seems like the high card has a rainbow effect to them. Vice the low series that did it, looks like it's a foil, but no actual, yeah, only the background is foil. But yeah, so the high series is rainbow foil, and I'm gonna assume it's the same exact characters, and it looks like it so far. Bling, blink, boom, boom, brew, with a different pose, and it looks like the art is also older. Colossus. Yeah, it looks like Cyclops is wearing the old school costume. So I guess that would be the theme for the high series cards. They're pretty much from the older comic books. And they don't even hide it because you could tell exactly, like some of them are taken from the exact comic book pages they were from. So yeah, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, we go learn some of the classics from the older comic books. And this is actually how I know most of the characters to wear. Like Professor Rex, like I imagine him on a wheelchair, not the ones we just saw where he had like a X helmet and he's standing up. So yeah, and just learned that Sunfire and Sunpyre, the Sunpyre is female. I didn't even know she existed. But yeah, it looks like the same exact character, except a different version of them in the comic books. And it looks like it's a lot earlier. Definitely the old school White Queen. Quicksilver with underwear on the outside. Yeah. Blob, he hasn't done that much gains yet. He hasn't quarantined yet on this one. But yeah, the high series looks badass. Like I like it better than the first 100. So, but anyway, this will be concluding our tour of every PMG card that you could get, pretty much for Marvel Comics. So just to give a recap, I'll go over through it again. So it was the 2013 Marvel Retro, and they came in red in serial to 100, blue 50, and green 10. And then we have the 2015. Oh, and there's also 42 of those cards. And then the 2015 Retro Metal, which is also 42 cards. Comes in red 100, blue 50, green 10, and gold 1. Then we have the 2017 Spider-Man Flair Ultra, and it comes in MM1 to MM50, and we had bronze serial to 199, red to 99, blue 49, green 10, purple 5, and gold 1. And we had 49 2018 X-Men Flair Ultra, which also came the same as the Flair Ultra Spider-Man. So bronze 199, red 99, blue 49, green 25, purple 10, and gold 1. And finally, our last set here, the X-Men metal to 2021 came in two different colors: red serial to 90 and green serial to 10. And like I said before, of course, these are all the Marvel comics ones, but there are Marvel movies as well. And just to reiterate, it was Thor, Guardians, and Doctor Strange that I saw. And of course, all the sports ones that we're not even gonna talk about because this is a comic card channel. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my my take on the every precious metal gems that you could get. And unfortunately, this is all I have, plus that one Sandman. And so sad, but it is what it is. And I guess happy collecting, guys. And as always, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.